Hello everyone, we are back for another Digimon video. This time I'm here to share a fun deck I have concocted. It's had a fair bit of success, at least in the playtesting I've done with a few people, and I thought I'd share it. So I effectively call it the Shaman deck. It was the Anubismon deck before the limited list hit it. So this is my rendition of the Anubismon deck, I guess I'll call it. But yeah, let's go ahead and kick it off. So first off, for the rookies, I run 4 copies of Dracmon. Dracmon. This is mostly a dark animal deck, so this helps with the search, some filtering in the trash, and being able to digivolve from the trash. Next, we have 4 copies of Ignitemon. Let's do a little bit better, get them actually in frame. So Ignitemon is for us. I'm going to call it a tech I'm doing for this build. This deck does like to go wide, kind of. I'm not going to say quickly, but you do have board presence and expendable Digimon on your board. So this, I'll go over when I go through the combo guide for this deck. But lastly, for the rookies, we run 4 copies of Labramon. All right. So, Labramon is just for effectively getting stuff back from trash and inheritable to game memory to try to not pass turn. We do a lot of high memory plays, so that's just to help mitigate it. All right, so those are level 3s. Next, we're going to get into level 4s. So I run 3 copies of the EX2 Dobermon, the trash filter, and to get some things back from trash. With Anubismon being hit to 1, you want to recycle them as much as possible. So that's another reason why I include this one. The next one, I run 3 copies of the BT12 Dobermon, mostly just for the Dobermon name. It does have retaliation. There's going to be a lot of Digimon with retaliation by the time we get up to like level 5 for this deck. So yeah, just know that's going to be a common theme. All right, so for the next Digimon, we have 4 copies of the EX5 Dobermon X Antibody. This helps with filtering, also gives on-play retaliation and when digivolving if Dobermon's in this sources. Also will have retaliation because you'll activate his on-play skill. All right, so those are the level 4s. Next, we're going to get into level 5s. So you might have seen a trend. So for the first 3, we have 3 copies of the BT4 Cerberusmon. On deletion, draw 2, trash 1. Not surprising. We have 1 copy of Cerberusmon Werewolf Mode, just so you can play out Cerberusmon, then play out Werewolf Mode. Effectively, you play it for free, you delete it, and then you gain the memory right back, and then you'll be able to swing. So it's a nice little thing just so you can delete your own Digimon, draw 2, filter out, and then be able to swing with a new body if this Digimon was just played by something like Anubismon. All right, so we have Cerberusmon Werewolf Mode, and 4 copies of Cerberusmon X Antibody. So we are using the X Antibody line effectively to crank out Digimon. So this one, the way I built this deck, is going to activate his on play almost every time. So you're going to be able to play out a level 3 card from your trash. And that's another reason why we run Labramon. So you can throw something in trash and then you can recycle all the stuff that you really want to get back. And for the inheritable, by deleting one of your other Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. This deck is really aggressive in the fact that since we can recycle from the trash, we're not really scared to swing into security and probably explode. So we're going to be as aggressive as possible with this deck. All right, so those are level 5s. And then we get into the top end. So for the top end, we, of course, run our 1 copy of Anubismon. Then we also run 2 copies of Minervamon. When Herbamon's here again, whenever your opponent plays a Digimon, you may play a level 4 or lower purple Digimon from your trash without paying this cost. So, we are trying to play things from trash as quickly as possible. This also has retaliation. It's not why I put it in there, but the common theme, you're going to try to swarm the board with level 4s as quickly as possible. And on deletion, if it's deleted and your opponent only has 2 bodies on board, you can play something else from trash as well. So that's one of the others. So we're going to get into the next one. We run 2 copies of Mervamon. Ignite was probably a dead giveaway that we're running Mervamon in this deck. I am running Anubismon. Anubismon works really well with Mervamon, and yeah, there's no real reason not to play it. And Mervamon gives any Digimon with Crossheart or Retaliation Rush blocker. So seeing as a lot of things in this deck is going to have Retaliation and block Retaliation, almost everything on your board is going to have Retaliation, blocker, and Rush. So it's a nice. It really does help this deck get its teeth. So for the last one, it's just kind of, it hasn't ever really come up as a necessary, but it's a nice to have. I do run 2 copies of Grand Dracmon. When Digivolving, play a level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying the memory. One of the reasons why I run this is because since I do run Dracmon, this is a dark animal, so you can swing with Cerberusmon or any of your other level, well, one of the various forms of Cerberusmon, and then use Dracmon's skill to Digivolve into Grand Dracmon, and then do any other shenanigans. So it's kind of a cheat up into level 6. For the most part, you're cheating into level 4, level 4 for the X antibody, level 5 with Dracmon for that. But yeah, so those are level 6s. We don't run any level 7, so next we're going to get into the options. So we do run a lot of retaliation, and you would think that with all the retaliation, you really should not really concentrating much on deleting Digimon, but sometimes the deck does brick. Just because you're looking for your X antibody line, just so you can build it as efficiently as possible. So we do have some measures for that. So this deck does draw and trash quite a bit, and since it does swing into security and usually dies, but we do get a fair amount of cards in trash. So we do run a playset of Deathslinger. Deathslinger base, delete level 4 as the game progresses, deletes level 5 and above. And it's only for 4 costs. So these, I have been involved in some very hate-filled matches where these have actually saved me more often than not when we are both bricking. And they keep playing out monster, and this, until I can get my stack, this is the best defense I have at the moment. Well, best offense, which is a good defense. But yeah, we run 4 copies of Deathslinger. And then the next one, we run 4 copies of Rival Barrage. So 4 copies of Deathslinger, 4 copies of Rival Barrage, mostly for just the, when you need removal, but your Digimon can't tackle it. So you might not want to swing with your Digimon for retaliation just to get rid of a body off board. So one of the reasons why I have in here, because since I do run at least 3 copies of the Doberman that trashes 3, this has a chance to procking. With running 4 of this and running 4 of Deathslinger, I have a higher probability of it being a security, acting kind of like as a pseudo trap card. So that's one of the reasons why I run it at match 4 playset. There's probably some other things I can do with instead of Rival Barrage, but I would do the purple trainings. I still don't have a playset of that, so this is more than likely taking the place of those for right now until I can secure that. All right, so that's those. And then the last 4 cards, I run 2 copies of X Antibody Protoform. This card is very good in the fact that, one, it kind of lets you heal. So they delete if your Digimon gets deleted outside, I believe, of battle. Let's see. When this Digimon leaves the battle area, yeah, so no. As long as it's not by your effects, this goes, heals, and then it lets you grab part of your stack before it gets deleted into the trash. So that's a nice one. It lets you extend for your X antibody plays. Mostly you want to always put this under Cerberusmon X antibody. Well, Cerberusmon and then use its effect to Digivolve into Cerberusmon X. Just so you can get that extra body on the field from trash, and then when you Digivolve into Anubismon, because that's who you want to get as quickly as possible in this deck. So once you Digivolve an Anubismon and play out another body, you gain the memory from the X antibody line stack, and then you can use whatever card, whatever you want to discard from hand, and then probably you'll play another Cerberusmon X antibody or something to that regard. So this deck will insist upon, well, truthfully, you really want to play Mervamon, but Mervamon might not be in trash, so the next best candidate is usually Cerberusmon X. All right, and the last two is just our Memory Setter map from the structure deck. Reason why I play it, we do a lot of filtering, draw one, draw two, trash two, and this is just to help gain memory. You are doing some high memory plays sometimes with Anubismon because we don't have any other choice. So yeah, that's why we add this, just to help. And I do believe, I think I missed one. So let's see. Oh yeah, I did miss one. Where'd he go? It's right there. Okay. So I missed it from the level 5s. I do also run one copy of Lucimon Chaos Mode. Since we do run Minervamon deletion can play a level 5 or below if it meets the qualifications for its activation. So if this is in the trash, you can play this from trash, pop a Digimon, pop a Tamer, and then you can just Digivolve straight into any of your level 6s and then just keep reaping benefit. And you can keep getting this card back for the most part. Usually with Minervamon, because you can keep recycling Minervamon due to Labramon. So that's the build. I'm going to get into the deck combo guide later. I want to try to keep these videos a little bit shorter. I know going into the deck profile and the combo guide usually makes them around 30-45 minutes. So I'm going to try to squish them down just to make it a little bit more digestible. All right, so thanks for joining in and look forward to the combo guide for this deck. And until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.